Hi, everybody. Great. Okay, so would like to welcome you all along to this refashion challenge of 2021. And thanks for joining us, and thanks to the mentors for coming along tonight. You're either going to be listening to this live, or you might be listening to a recording of it, because we are going to have this recorded to send out. So it's going to find out more about the project, which is going to be very exciting, and it's going to be teaching you how to reuse old garments and everyday items to create cool, high fashion outfits. And you're going to have help from your fashion mentors, who are going to be teaching you some tricks of the trade, and you can then go on and become part of the zero waste generation. Okay. Fabulous. Now it's not moving on. Sorry, it's just very slow. All right, so how will this project work for you? Okay, so find out about how working on this project can help you develop your fashion skills and gain expertise in sustainable solutions for fast fashion, and you're going to be having fun. Okay, so what is it all about, this project? Okay, like I said in the beginning, it's about zero waste, which means that you're going to be reusing and recycling textiles. So then what's going to be causing all of this excess clothing waste that we're seeing and hearing in the news all of the time? And to be honest, the answer really is fast fashion. So fast fashion as a business is one of the most fast-paced industries. And over the past 20 years, the demand for new and cheap clothes has just got faster and faster. Customers want a new outfit every week. They're going to wear it once and then just chuck it away. They're not bothered about it. And this is what's become known as fast fashion. And on the side there's just a couple of examples of a dress which is like £9.49 and 10 quid or £6 for a dress. So really buying clothes that are cheaper than buying a sandwich, which is a lot considering a lot of work has gone into it. Right, so impact now for a positive fashion. So this is about fashion's tiny hidden secrets. You probably know about this because the fashion industry has a huge impact on the environment, and every second one full dustbin lorry of textiles ends up in landfill or incinerated. And about 60% of all the material made into clothing is made out of polyester, acrylic, nylon, which is basically plastic. And the synthetic fibers are very lightweight and durable, and every time you wash them, they end up with little microplastics going into the sea, which we end up eating because they actually end up going into fish are actually eating them, and it's just going to be a nightmare if we don't do something about it. And you can see the image there of these little kids playing on this hideous kind of pile of fabrics. And 85% of used textiles do end up in landfill. So how can you help to create a positive impact? Unfortunately, the future doesn't look good unless we make some changes. One of the worst facts is that many fast fashion garments are made out of polyester fibers, so that can take up to hundreds of years to decompose. If more people put good use to their old and unwanted clothing rather than just sending it to landfill, then at least we could be contributing to less polyester being produced now. Now, how bad is it? So here are some horrible facts that I'm going to share with you. There's 350,000 tonnes, that's around 140 million pounds worth of used but still wearable clothing that goes into landfill in the UK every year. And this equates to more than 30% of our unwanted clothing currently going into landfill. In Britain, we send over 70,000 tonnes of clothing to recycling centres, textile banks and textile collections every year. That's enough to fill 459 Olympic-sized swimming pools, and more than 60% of households in the UK say they've got unwanted clothes and textiles stored around their house. I know I have. So how can design help with sustainability? Designers are using creative solutions to make fantastic designs using all sorts of things that you would never even think of and that could be used in garments. And here are a few examples that some of our students have done. So what would a fashion designer do with these old plastic bags that's going to be going to landfill? So here we've got a student who has created trimmings out of old plastic bags. They've been pleated and added and sewn into trimmings on these amazing garments. Then again, what would a fashion designer do with these old shower sponges? Well, here we have what the student did do with them. They were melted and molded and created these stunning garments out of an old shower sponge. Now, what do you think a fashion designer could do with these old blinds? Well, this is what they do. They create this amazing collection made up of old blind fabric and blinds that were going to go into landfill. Really created amazing silhouettes using them. And then what would a fashion designer do with the plastic sandwich bags? And this is what they do with it. In fact, Alison's one of our mentors and is on the line tonight, and she's going to show you a little bit about her MA work because she's very interested in sustainable fashion. So the next slides are some old garments that are secondhand, all horrible grey suiting that has been revamped and painted over to create these beautiful, intricate designs. So all of this was horrible grey suiting. And you can see on the first image, the trouser, the waist of the trouser jutting out onto the shoulder and then painstakingly painted. Look, they look like brand new, gorgeous catwalk clothes when they were going to end up in a landfill. So finding a use for everyday objects, some ideas of how designers use everyday objects in a creative way. These are amazing packaging that's going to be chucked away, and designers made them into fashion headwear. This is one of our students using cling film to create amazing accessories. These are using coloured sellotape onto a shirt, Kimble gum into the hat and to the jacket. This is another one of my favourite designers called Matty Boven, who at the moment is the king of upcycling. He uses everything and anything on his clothes and creates some of the most amazing, inspiring work. This is a designer called Jean-Paul Gaultier, and he's used this season upcycled denim, lots of old denim jeans knocking around, and you can see here how he's done weaving and shredding and gorgeous clothes. I loved these appliques, the tartan made out of old fabrics, and this gorgeous shirt, which is made up of lots of old shirts sewn together. Then we've got these gorgeous spray painted jackets at Givenchy and these circular laser cuts, which were creating this gorgeous new fabric. And then we've got these Dior men from this season with these gorgeous hand-painted garments, and Yohji Yamamoto with this newspaper print with the splattered paint on, which looks absolutely gorgeous. Right, so that's some inspiration for you all. I hope you found that interesting, and that's the kind of thing we want to be working on with you all. And the next stage is, the information is that the project runs for 1 week in August from the 16th to the 20th in Victoria Mill in Burnley, which is just near Manchester Road train station. All resources are supplied and the event is free, and you're going to work in groups of 4 or 5 people, and you'll each have a fashion mentor. Your team mentor is a trained fashion designer and will guide you through the process of creating exciting garments from old discarded garments and household items. You're going to learn some hand sewing techniques, some machine stitching, as well as more unconventional construction techniques to create your garments. And you're also going to learn a lot about the design process. Each team is aiming to win the prize of £25 voucher each. And at the end of the project, there's going to be a fabulous photo shoot, and we're going to create a professional zine, which will showcase your work to a wider audience. So the idea is that you sign up to avoid disappointment, because we've only got 20 places available on this. And if you're interested, then please do sign up. Email myself at aodlin@uclan.ac.uk or Bev Lamy at blamy@gawthorpetextiles.org.uk. And of course, you can always follow us on Instagram at UClan Fashion Design or at Gawthorpe Textiles Collection. Okay, so that's some information. I hope you found that interesting, and I hope it answered some of your questions a little bit about what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to stop sharing now, and I'm going to hand over to our lovely mentor Alison, who is one of my students, and she's graduated and she's done a fabulous the white collection was hers, but she's done an MA which she's using sustainability as well. So Alison, over to you if you'd like to talk a little bit about what you did for your MA collection.
Hi, my name's Alison. I'm a recent graduate at UCLan, and Amanda showed some of my pictures from my graduate collection, which I did very well with. That whole collection was made out of sandwich bags and old plastic bags. It was to bring attention and awareness to the plastic waste we have within our oceans and how we can repurpose single-use plastics to create something beautiful and interesting and possibly even wearable. So my monochrome collection was to draw your attention to the texture of the plastics. So I invented methods of, I use straighteners with greaseproof paper on them to melt them together. I use Bic lighters. I use shearing elastic and everything I could find just to try and pull these garments together, which was a different and interesting process of doing things. But then with my MA, I focused more on maybe using things that were more fabric-like. So I used loads of picnic tables and things like that to create my a gingham collection, cowboy inspired. That's more wearable than the plastic bags, to be honest. But it's all sustainable and to aim to create something new out of something that's just lying around the house that is very cheap and easily repurposed.
Fantastic. So no, that's really great, Alison. I think you did a really great job. And even though they were made out of sandwich bags, they were worn in several fashion shows, weren't they, those garments? So they really did. You've still got them, haven't you?
Yes, they're in my garage at home.
Yeah, I've got the prototype actually, which I'm going to bring along to show when we get down to Victoria Mill. I found the prototype when I was tidying up the studio, so we're going to be bringing that along to show everybody where this idea started from. Fabulous, thanks ever so much for that, Alison. And then I'm just going to hand over now to Hannah, who is one of our textile students, and Hannah has been shortlisted for a really fabulous award by the fashion designer Zandra Rose for her use of textiles. And we challenged Hannah to come up with within a week, so she's not had very long, just to look around her house and see what she could come up with, and could she make any inspiring fabric samples using like just bits and bobs that she could put her hands on around the house. So Hannah, are you going to show us what you've made in this challenge in a week?
Yes, I am. So I'm Hannah. Hello. So I started with like little lemon bags, and I started doing some weaving. So any of these, everything is just things I've had like knocking around the house. I haven't gone out and bought anything, so I've just tried to like make use of what I've got. Then this was just some like leftover fabric I had, and this is like some rope that I had lying around, and I've created this like layered effect. So that'd be really nice for a garment, like maybe like along straps or anything, just like a little pop of colour, a little bit of detail. And then these were loads of leftover fabrics I had lying around as well. I've used cotton wool as a way to create like a wadding as well, to create like a 3D effect, and then added some beads. Some greaseproof paper as well to do some pleating. You could obviously like do this in like a full scale as well to create like flowers. I think it's quite nice, like under the sea type of thing as well. Also I found this like random piece of plastic as well, so I started wrapping different things in it. So this is like just like a fabric ball I'd done, and I think that's quite nice, like a wet look. So just like anything you can find really. And in the past, when I've looked at sustainability, I had these foam sheets that I had when I was like a kid, and they were just like knocking around. I'd done like machine stitching with them. So these were all like collaged foam that you'll probably have like just from when you were like a kid and that, and then painted. So yeah, that's them all. So just be incorporated in different ways onto garments, just as like little added bits of detail.
Thanks ever so much, Hannah. I think you've done really well within a week there to create all those samples. And I think it just shows that if you look around, you can reuse things everywhere, can't you? So that's great.
Yeah.
And I know that Jacob and Phoebe and Agneta, they've all done amazing recycled outfits as well. And you've worked on projects at the university around zero waste, haven't you? So you've all got great experience and you all want to win. So you all want a really good team to work with you. So I think that now really we just need to find some really fabulous fashionistas out there that are going to work with us and come on down to Victoria Mill in Burnley from the 16th to 20th of August, and then they can work with us and we will make these amazing outfits. Now then, the people that are joining us, I don't know whether you've got any questions or whether that answered everything that you are thinking about. I know Wardar, you did actually email me today and I replied to you and said, come along tonight and hopefully we'll answer all your questions. So with a bit of luck, we've got everything there and we've inspired you, and we can learn a lot from creating zero waste, reusing things that are going to be chucked away and creating, you know, fashion garments out of that. So any questions from anybody? I've done such a thorough job in my PowerPoint there, which is really good. I'm pleased that there's no questions.
People can always email myself or Amanda if you do have any questions after this, after you've seen this presentation. Thanks, Amanda. I'm Bev. I'm from Gawthorpe Textiles Collection, and what I'd like to say is thank you to UCLAN and to Amanda for partnering with us on this project. I'd also like to thank Panaz Fabrics, who are sponsoring the prizes. So they're paying for the £25 gift vouchers that each of the winning team members will get, which is very generous. Just to reiterate, Amanda's already said it's the 16th to the 20th of August, 10 AM to 3 PM in Victoria Mill, which is the UCLAN campus in Burnley. If you don't recognise the words Victoria Mill, it's the new UCLAN campus in Burnley. The other thing to say is that Amanda and myself have been DBS checked, and the health and safety, with it being on university campus, the health and safety is very stringent and is, you know, has already been completed and covered all the risk assessments. You might be wondering why Gawthorpe Textiles Collection are running this sort of project, and I suppose it's because as a textile heritage collection whose main focus and reason for existence is the preserve of craft techniques that people have used for many centuries in the production of textiles and clothing, it seems obvious that we should be keen to support the move towards rediscovering slow fashion and the making and craft that goes into slow fashion. I'd just like to quote from a book about How to Quit Fast Fashion by Emma Matthews. She says, slow fashion values the craft that goes into your clothes. It repositions each garment from a throwaway commodity to an item to be treasured. It takes lessons from before this time of fast fashion. And we hope that in doing this project, in the experience for the young people involved, but also in the outcomes, the collection that you will produce, the photographs that are taken, and the zine publication, and also in the event that we will hold to launch that zine publication, that we can promote the values of slow fashion to a wider group of people. So that's why we're doing it, not just to impact on the participants, but also the wider population of Burnley, Lancashire, and further beyond that, thereby equipping more people to make ethical and environmentally sustainable choices in what they wear and what they buy. So email me or Amanda if you want to sign up. There are other people interested who were supposed to be coming tonight. Maybe they're still having their tea. But we'll be in contact with you just to check if you do want to sign up. Like Amanda said, if you've got any questions, you can always contact us. I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us on Zoom this evening.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and thanks to the mentors for giving up your time this evening. And I know you're all looking forward to working on this project, so we're going to have lots of good fun. Bev and I will be there as well, won't we, Bev, for that week?
Yeah.
To inspire you all and do some hand stitching if you need us. So yeah, we're looking forward to it, and hopefully you'll sign up soon. And
yeah, bring your friends. Just tell us beforehand. Okay. Thank you very much. And I'll stop recording.